Derrick James is experiencing a rough ride after Frank Martin's loss. Right after the news hit us that Derrick James was quitting, he has been faced with critics saying it's a wrong move for him.
What's up, everybody, man? I let my people down, but my head high.
But these critics are not coming in easily. Some, like Rick Glacier, tweeted that Errol Spence made Frank fire Derrick. Which has left Derrick James navigating a rough breakdown on live. In the aftermath of Frank Martin's devastating loss to Gervonta Davis, the boxing world has been rife with speculation and controversy.
I let my people down, but my head high,
The latest hit came when news broke that Derrick James, the renowned trainer, decided to quit. As the dust settled, James took to a live broadcast to address the hate and tough words he's been receiving from the boxing community. His heartfelt and candid reaction sheds light on the immense pressures and challenges faced by trainers behind the scenes.
I'm ready to get out of boxing.
Frank Martin's knockout loss to Gervonta Davis was a significant blow, not just for Martin, but for his trainer Derrick James as well. As Martin's trainer, James has been instrumental in shaping his career, providing guidance, strategy, and support. However, the defeat brought with it a torrent of criticism directed towards James, culminating in his decision to step down.
Come on, you started. Come on. The trainer is coming for a check. I'm telling you that now.
Okay.
Yeah. That trainer that's next to him, coming for a check.
During his live broadcast, Derrick James did not hold back. He began by addressing the sheer volume of negative comments and backlash he has been receiving since the fight. "I'm getting all this hate," James said. "This is my personal decision, and it hasn't been easy. I tried my best with Frank. I've been there looking after these fighters' backs, but it seems like I'm mostly losing." Now, his words might hold some truth to it. Let's not forget that it is Derrick James who trained Ryan Garcia before he lost to Tank, and he also trained Errol, which only ended in a bad conclusion for both Errol and James. So when he says he's the one losing, well, there's some sense to it. James's comments reflect the emotional and psychological toll that the profession can take on trainers. The boxing world can be unforgiving, with successes often overshadowed by failures. Despite his numerous accomplishments, the recent loss and subsequent backlash have clearly affected him deeply. James went on to explain his perspective, detailing the dedication and effort he has put into his work. People don't see the countless hours spent in the gym, the sleepless nights planning strategies, or the sacrifices made. They only see the results in the ring and think that's it. I've given my all to this sport and to my fighters, but sometimes things don't go as planned. That's the nature of boxing. Maybe that makes me feel bad sometimes, but you all shouldn't take that against me. The outcomes of these fights are determined by the fighters, not me.
There's that left hook again as Tank stays just low enough. Quick uppercut. Ryan's going for the hook.
He also addressed specific comments from the boxing community. "I've seen people say that I'm done, that I should quit. Well, here's the thing. This is my decision. I know what I've given to this sport, and I know the effort I've put in. It's easy to criticize from the outside, but those who've been in the ring or in the corner know how tough it really is."
They fight very similar. They all use something that they saw somebody do and they like it, so they try to stick to that or whatever.
James's decision to quit has been met with mixed reactions. Some have expressed understanding and support, while others continue to criticize. During his broadcast, James elaborated on why he felt it was time to step back. "I've been in this game for a long time, and it's been a roller coaster of highs and lows. Recently, it feels like the lows have been more frequent. It's not just about the losses, it's about the constant scrutiny and the toll it takes on you mentally and physically." He continued, "I need to take care of myself too. I need to step back and reevaluate. Maybe it's time for a new chapter, a new direction. This doesn't mean I'm giving up on boxing entirely, but for now, I need to find some peace and regroup."
I'll be back, I'll be back better, watch film, get better, grow, and y'all will see me again.
The reaction from the boxing community has been polarized. Some fans and analysts have come out in support of James, acknowledging his contributions to the sport and understanding the immense pressures he faces. Others, however, remain critical, questioning his recent performance and decisions.
I mean, because if you let someone be themselves, they have the time of their lives on you. For sure.
Supporters have praised James for his transparency and honesty. Derrick has always been a straight shooter. It takes a lot of courage to come out and speak openly about these issues, one fan commented. Another added, "We shouldn't forget all the great work he's done with his fighters. It's easy to judge when things go wrong, but Derrick has been a top trainer for years." On the other hand, critics have not been as kind. "He's been slipping lately. Maybe it's time for new blood in the training world," one comment read. Another critic remarked, "If he's quitting, it's probably for the best. The results speak for themselves." While most of us see that James tried his best with these fighters, other people don't have the same view. And while he insists that his decision is totally personal and has nothing to do with his fighter's performance in the ring, some are pointing fingers at that very performance.
Comment.
But you got a fight on your hands too, though, Coach.
What's the fight?
You going against Derrick James.
No, I'm not. Derrick James going against me. And the Bible.
Martin coming and he going the same game.
But let's be honest here. Frank really did put some good work in that ring with Tank. We could almost say that he displayed his skills so perfectly, well, until a more experienced fighter took control of the fight. This with itself shouldn't be pointed back at the trainer per se. It was just a battle of skills and Tank won the battle, even with some bruises.
You know what I mean? I started picking them apart.
And you were looking at your face in the monitor. It was a bit of a target. Is it hurting right now?
Yeah, it's a little like a little charry, but I'm okay. It come with the sport.
The fallout, however, extended beyond the ring. In a post-fight interview, Martin pointed the finger at his trainer, Derrick James, accusing him of inadequate preparation and a poor strategy. "It's the trainer's fault," Martin stated. "We didn't have the right game plan, and it cost me the fight. I respect Derrick, but this was a wake-up call. I need a trainer who can bring out the best in me and guide me to victory."
You know, I came out to be great, but I came up short. You know, I got caught with a shot that...
Martin's comments sent shockwaves through the boxing world. It was seen as Martin was trying to desperately deflect the blame rather than a legitimate concern about his career's direction. While the truth likely lies somewhere in between, James's tactics in the fight are under serious scrutiny. Reports suggest James's plan involved utilizing Martin's jab to control distance and frustrate Davis. This approach had merit, but Martin never truly established jab dominance.
Seeing skills, yes. It's not even so much as an exciting fighter. Good combination lands for Martin.
Davis, known for his explosive power and counterpunching, effectively cut off the ring and landed heavy blows throughout the fight. The culminating knockout punch, a left hook, exposed Martin's vulnerability on the inside, a weakness James might not have addressed sufficiently.
Yeah, don't stay on the ropes, Martin.
A teacher can only guide, it's the student who must take the test. These words are particularly resonant in the world of boxing. While the sport may seem like a solitary endeavor, with one individual standing alone in the ring, there is a piece of intricate machinery at work behind the scenes. The most crucial component of this machinery is the trainer. They are the ones who have often been there and seen that, positioning them uniquely to provide invaluable guidance. Despite their wisdom, trainers frequently find their advice disregarded, leading to dire consequences for the boxer.
Just I got to chilling too much on the ropes, you know. Derrick, that's one thing he been talking to me about.
The dynamic between a boxer and their trainer is both fascinating and complex. A trainer is not just a coach, they are a mentor, strategist, and sometimes a father figure. Their role is to equip the boxer with the skills and tactics needed to succeed in the ring. They study the opponent, devise strategies, and provide moral support. However, once the bell rings, it is the boxer who must execute the plan. This delicate balance of guidance and autonomy was vividly illustrated in the bout between Frank Martin and Gervonta Davis. As their fight progressed, a crucial moment before the 8th round captured the attention of many boxing enthusiasts. Footage showed Martin receiving instructions from his trainer, Derrick James. Despite the advice, Martin opted for a different approach, leading to his downfall. Derrick James instructed Martin to move to his left when pushed to the ropes by Davis. This tactical advice was crucial because Davis, being a southpaw, favored his powerful left-hand punches. Moving to the right would put Martin directly in the line of fire.
But again, he has to keep him busy.
Oh, there's a left hand to the body and the right by Davis. Martin just avoiding that counter, but now Martin.
Unfortunately, Martin chose to move to his right, which played right into Davis's hands. The result was a devastating knockout, with Martin losing the match in a dramatic fashion. To understand the gravity of Derrick James's advice, it's essential to delve into the tactics of boxing. Gervonta Davis is known for his lethal left-hand punches. By moving to the left, Martin would have forced Davis to adjust his stance and angle, potentially throwing him off balance and reducing the power of his punches. This strategy, if executed correctly, could have provided Martin with openings to counterattack. However, boxing is a dynamic and fluid sport. In the heat of the moment, decisions must be made in split seconds. Despite the careful planning and instructions, a boxer's instinct and split-second judgment come into play. Martin's decision to move to his right, while against his trainer's advice, might have been driven by his instinct to evade immediate danger. Unfortunately, this decision proved costly. As the 8th round commenced, Martin started strong but soon found himself cornered. Davis capitalized on this, landing a series of powerful punches. A left cross to the face followed by a right uppercut and a left uppercut left. Martin dazed. The knockout punch, a powerful left hand from Davis, sealed the match.
And there's the left hand. Wow! Once he stunned him with that uppercut, he was defenseless. He was already halfway out. The left hand just put him completely out, and that was the end of the game.
Understanding what goes on in a boxer's mind during a fight is crucial. The ring is a place where physical and mental strength are tested to their limits. The pressure, adrenaline, and the crowd's energy can all influence a boxer's decisions. In Martin's case, his choice to move to the right instead of the left might have been an instinctive reaction to the immediate threat posed by Davis. Boxers must constantly adapt and improvise based on their opponent's moves. This fluidity makes it challenging to predict or judge their decisions. While Derrick James's advice was sound, Martin's actions in the ring were shaped by the immediate pressures and his instinctual responses.
Listen, why do you keep going to the front? You go this way. You walking right the way you want.
Gervonta Davis, with now 30 wins under his belt, exemplifies experience and adaptability. Even if Martin had followed James's instructions to the letter, it's likely that Davis would have adapted his strategy accordingly. This adaptability is what sets elite boxers apart. They can adjust their tactics on the fly, turning potential disadvantages into opportunities. In boxing, as in life, experience is a crucial teacher. Both Martin and James will undoubtedly learn from this match. For James, it's a reminder of the unpredictable nature of the sport and the importance of preparing for multiple scenarios. For Martin, it's a lesson in the value of trust and execution.
But again, he has to keep him busy.
Oh, there's a left hand to the body and the right by Davis. Martin just avoiding that counter, but now Martin.
The relationship between a boxer and their trainer is built on trust and mutual respect. The trainer's role is not just to instruct, but to understand the boxer's strengths, weaknesses, and mental state. This bond is forged through countless hours of training, preparation, and shared experiences. In the case of Frank Martin and Derrick James, this bond was put to the test. James's advice was rooted in his deep understanding of the sport and his boxer's abilities. However, Martin's decision in the ring was influenced by his immediate perceptions and instincts. Maybe if he had followed his trainer's advice, maybe then he would have won this fight.
Come on. Come on. The trainer is coming for a check. I'm telling you that now.
Okay.
Yeah. That trainer that's next to him, coming for a check.
To add to all that's going on, Rick Glasser recently tweeted about a potential fallout, stating, "Rumors abound that trainer #Derrick James has been fired by #Frank Martin, and Frank is prompted by #Errol Spence, who also previously fired Derrick James. Wonder if Frank Martin will stiff Derrick James too. Could this be another court battle brewing?" This tweet adds a new layer to the ongoing saga between James and his former proteges. Rick Glasser's tweet has stirred the pot, suggesting that Frank Martin might be the latest to sever ties with Derrick James, influenced by Errol Spence Jr. This potential break comes on the heels of Spence's public and legal disputes with James. The situation is further complicated by the close relationship observed between Martin and Spence before and after their respective fights.
You know what I mean? Doing my thing. You know, he got all my shots on me. What's your success?
The conflict between Errol Spence Jr. and Derrick James has been a headline grabber. Spence filed a lawsuit against James, stating that he does not owe James any unpaid compensation. This lawsuit came hours before James filed his own claim in Dallas County Civil Court, seeking no less than $5 million from Spence. James claims that his cut from Spence's guaranteed purse money for a series of pay-per-view bouts, including Spence's fight against Terrence Crawford, was not fully paid.
Who's the better puncher when it goes down? Crawford got 10 knockouts in a row, but Spence looks like the heavy-handed, natural.
10 knockouts in a row against who?
James's lawsuit asserts that Spence owes him 10% of both the money promised in bout agreements and pay-per-view proceeds. In contrast, Spence's filing contends that James was only entitled to 10% of the promoter-contestant contract earnings. This difference in interpretation of their oral agreement has led to the current legal impasse. Spence's lawsuit provides a detailed account of their financial arrangement.
But then you gonna critique me like I'm a grown man? Appreciate you, man.
No doubt.
Real. You know what I'm saying? That's what we do.
That's how my best coach has been.
Social media people tell you how great you are.
According to Spence, the agreement began in 2012 when he turned professional, paying James $250 out of his first $2,500 purse. Spence claims to have consistently paid James 10% of his promoter-contestant contract earnings since then. However, the bonuses Spence occasionally gave James were discretionary, meant to emphasize the value Spence placed on their relationship.
Just look around at so many champions, all grown or polished right here.
With what Derrick does here, it's not only the physical, it's the fundamentals.
Spence's attorney, Jonathan R. Childers, argues that their oral agreement did not include pay-per-view revenues. Thus, Spence is not obligated to pay James 10% of that income. Spence's lawsuit also recounts James's acceptance of payments without complaint, including a significant bonus after Spence's comeback win over Danny Garcia, but not following his unification victory over Yordenis Ugas.
I want to get this out, Joe. I'm not I'm just saying, want to set that straight. But this is it. I'm just saying, Spence, that was a good body shot as he exited. You can see that eye, Garcia starting to close up.
The discord between the two intensified following Spence's fight against Crawford, where James even checked Crawford gloves to see if they were totally normal. James claims Spence made $25 million from this bout and provided evidence of a text message in which Spence appeared to acknowledge owing James another $2.15 million beyond the $350K already paid. James's lawsuit also mentions that Spence referred to advice from someone named Al, who suggested that $350K was generous, possibly referring to Spence's manager Al Heyman. On the other hand, Spence maintains that James's demand for 10% of the total fight revenue came 6 months after the Crawford fight, a departure from their usual practice. Spence's lawsuit highlights that James received a 10% cut of $2.5 million and a $100K bonus, following their standard course of performance. In the middle of all this legal turmoil, Frank Martin's potential decision to part ways with Derrick James, influenced by Errol Spence Jr., adds another twist. The close association between Martin and Spence has been well documented, and Spence's influence on Martin's decision cannot be overlooked.
First of all, I just want to give you the props, man, for standing there in the ring and being a warrior. Do you feel like, you gained some more fans after tonight? I believe you did.
Yeah, I mean, if I did, that's a blessing.
With the trainer-fighter relationship seemingly fractured, Martin's search for a new leader is now paramount. So who could be a potential fit for the talented but directionless boxer? Several names come to mind. Buddy McGirt, A legend known for his no-nonsense approach and ability to mold champions could be a perfect fit. His experience working with fighters like Arturo Gatti, with styles similar to Martin's, could prove invaluable.
Turn the foot with it up. Stay down with it though. Stay down.
Another option is Virgil Hunter, a highly respected trainer with a defensive-minded style that could counterpoint Martin's aggressive tendencies. Under Hunter's tutelage, Martin could develop a more complete skill set, making him a more difficult opponent.
Go. Now, jab, come back again. Just touch and go here. You can touch and go down, or you can pull.
A rising star, Ismael Salas, could also be a good choice. He has a knack for maximizing his fighter's potential. Salas's work with fighters like Jesse Magdaleno has shown his ability to develop strategic game plans and exploit weaknesses in opponents. Ultimately, the decision rests with Martin. If he feels like he needs a trainer who not only understands his strengths and weaknesses, but also complements his fighting style and personality, then that's up to him. What do you think about this? Share your thoughts in the comment section below, and don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button for more interesting updates. See you in the next one.